The Tommy Campbell Show. For years, we've been traumatized by the front of Donald Trump's neck. Turns out the back is where the real horror movie was hiding. California Governor Gavin Newsom wasted no time posting Trump's rash with the eyes after the frequent napper that's supposed to be the healthiest president of all time gave the world a lunch-losing taste of what lurks under the collar. Just as he officially scrubbed Kristi Noem from the cabinet, sparking some hilarious memes I'll get into, and replaced her with Mark Wayne Mullen, the January 6 hider with 2 first names. Okay, this one is just crazy. I mean, it shows potential, it shows what could be, dare to dream. As David Attenborough would say, it gives me hope. I'm not a doctor and make no medical claims, but that doesn't look good. The back of his neck looks like he got stung by a jellyfish. Actually, probably loved to get stung by a jellyfish for the antidote. Get one of those Russian girls over here to do a thing. It's not dirty if it's a treatment.
On the rash that was on the president's neck, the White House physician said it was a preventative skin cream that he was using, but why is the president using this cream? What are they trying to prevent with this cream?
To your second question, I don't have anything additional to add to the physician statement that we provided to all of you on those questions, but I know the statement said that the redness on the neck will dissipate within the next couple of weeks.
In the next couple of weeks, just like a healthcare plan coming in a couple of weeks, or Iran will have nukes in a couple of weeks. Everything is 2 weeks with this lot. Subscribe. I'm surprised she just didn't try and say this was from shaking hands. You know, the line of BS they gave everyone that they still tried to sell when the same source showed up on the left. White House physician Dr. Sean Barbabella said in a statement that it was preventative skin treatment without naming the skin condition or the cream, because that would be very revealing. It's just basically Trump doctor speak for, we aren't telling you. But medical experts like Dr. Vin Gupta are pointing towards pre-cancerous treatments that are essentially setting the skin on fire to save it. Now, seeing this and knowing that handful of aspirin a day Trump seems to ignore doctors, maybe he won't keep it up with the cream. He's ball skin neck waddle in the front and Freddy Krueger in the back, and he's slathering on the makeup to cover it up. It's a horror movie where the monster tries to hide under a layer of orange paint. Honestly, after seeing under Trump's collar, I'm surprised anyone let him near another human neck, but they did. This is Command Sergeant Major Terry Richardson, a man who saved 85 fellow soldiers in Vietnam. This is the highest military honor on the planet, and here's how the Commander-in-Chief handles the hardware. What's going through his mind here? Is this contagious? I've made a huge mistake. Did Trump try it on himself first? This thing's more like a bracelet. You ever hear of a rehearsal, a dry run? Anyone looking at that thing would know, yeah, this isn't going to work. But Trump just goes all in like he's getting Ted Cruz's wife ready for a walk. But here's the thing, Trump didn't just welcome him and honor him. No, he spent the preamble of this whole thing bragging about the $400 million ballroom he's building at the White House, and how he personally picked out the gold drapes in his first term. Richardson is thinking about the lives he saved in the jungle, and Trump is thinking about the tapestry around the Epstein dance floor. He even looks at this 70-year-old war hero, calls him central casting, and then leans over to Pete Hegseth and says, "You feel like fighting? I think we could take him today." Think about that. You're at the pinnacle of military service, and the two guys in charge are treating you like a prop in a schoolyard dare. I give this a solid 5 dripping Giuliani's on the fail scale. Kristi Noem got taken to the gravel pit, and the internet is having a field day with seeing the dog killer get taken out for being untrainable. Jared Moskowitz not only wore a Justice for Cricket badge at her hearing, savage, but wasted no time in posting in memoriam. Gone but not forgotten. It's just fantastic. I mean, this is the first major firing in Trump's cabinet, and Kristi Noem's time at Homeland Security effectively began with a masterclass in victimhood. You'll remember when she claimed her bag was stolen during a dinner out, except this wasn't just a purse. It was a $3,000 in cash-filled go bag that doubled as a mobile makeup lab and a national security risk. Inside her purse was her driver's license, her passport, her DHS badge, and enough concealer to hide Trump's toxic Avenger neck for a week. Who carries that much money? Was she paying for her Botox in cash? Because the end result not that great. Gave off like some vibes like a guy in a van down by the river did it. Ice Barbie was a liability from day one, and she treated the DHS budget like a personal vanity fund, spending $220 million in tax dollars on an ad campaign that was all about her. $220 million is Hollywood blockbuster money. Spider-Man No Way Home, The Avengers, The Dark Knight, Edge of Tomorrow. Hey, I had to list 2 movies I'm in. Those all cost as much or considerably less than this cyborg rejects horse riding vanity project. Tell Kristi I want her to know it was me. Then there were the jets, $172 million for 2 Gulfstreams and $70 million for a Boeing 737 that featured a wet bar and a master bedroom with a queen bed. DHS claimed it was for deportation flights. Okay, unless we're tucking the deportees in for a nap, it's pretty clear who that bed was for. Her and Corey heading to Pound Town in the sky. Maybe she felt owed for something after suffering through that 39-minute dance routine with Trump, but he eventually fired her via Truth Social while she was backstage in an event. Not much of a tough guy move. This is like breaking up with the text. But she's not out. For a group that's against participation trophy, she got handed the most expensive one in DC. She is now the special envoy for the Shield of the Americas. You have to say it like that, it's law. An invented job with a title that sounds like a Marvel movie reject. Speaking of rejects, her replacement could be Mark Wayne Mullen, the tough guy that cowered when the tourists visited the Capitol. I know they weren't tourists, but they said they were, and here he is cowering. This guy's so insecure about his presence that he uses apple boxes during debates just to stand eye to eye with his opponent. He loves the MMA, self-made warrior brand, but he's really just a generational daddy's boy who inherited a plumbing empire. Gavin Newsom was on point. New Kristi just dropped. Bye, girl. Justice for cricket. The Trump fires Kristi Noem paper, MAGA unemployment line, South Dakota Department of Labor. And I do love Gavin's new version of the MAGA hat featuring everything going down. It is red just like the market. Way to go, Trump.
The president had a feeling, again, based on fact, that Iran was going to strike the United States, was going to strike our assets in the region, and he made a determination to launch Operation Epic Fury based on all of those reasons. And
Operation Epic Fury does sound like a Peter North film, keeping with their theme. This is the first war in history started by a gut check rather than a briefing. A feeling based on fact is just a fancy way of saying, I made it up. But the world is trying to send Barron Trump to Operation Epic Fury with a hashtag trending and a site called draftbarrontrump.com. I'm not making this up. But another comedy writer did, Toby Morton, who worked on South Park and has been responsible for other epic sites such as jeffreyepstein.com and trumpkennedycenter.org, made this beauty. America is strong because its leaders are strong. President Trump proves that every day. Naturally, his son Barron is more than ready to defend the country his father so boldly commands. Service is honor. Strength is inherited. Dog bless Barron. I love that it has pictures of Trump sleeping. He's so with it. He's so on point. This site is dedicated to honoring the strongest and bravest voices in war when power is projected abroad. It is only right that strength exists at home. If you're looking for proven genes, inherited courage, and unquestionable resolve, look no further than the Trump family. Leadership starts somewhere. The testimonials are just so fantastic, especially Eric's. People always say I'm stupid, which is totally unfair because I understand a lot about pancakes. Pancakes are complex. You've got batter, heat, timing. If you rush it, you ruin everything. I think about pancakes a lot, mostly pancakes. Eric Trump. Okay, Eric, I hope you don't use the golden turd tongs to flip those bad boys. Now, although the hashtag trended worldwide and this site is getting more clicks than the McDonald's CEO's LinkedIn profile, Barron is reportedly 6'9" and the U.S. Army maxes out at 6'8". So technically he's too bigly to serve. The thing is, Trump loves an executive order. Maybe he'll do the right thing and bump the height up so Barron can get into a helmet. At least Barron didn't invent his height for this vertical deferment, unlike Donald's medical get out of Vietnam card from Dr. Larry Bronstein, the podiatrist who just happened to rent his office from Fred Trump. Donald was apparently too disabled by bone spurs to carry a rifle, but magically healthy enough to be the star of the varsity baseball and basketball teams. I make this independent show on my own. If you love what I do, consider leaving me a tip, become a member for extras, hit up my referral links, and stream my stand-up on Spotify. In Canada, Australia, and the UK, there is no official maximum height for joining the infantry. They'll take you even if you're 7 feet tall. They'll just tell you to watch your head in the armored vehicles. The only hard stops are for pilots and submarines. It's not about legroom. It's about the ejection seat, because if your femur's too long, it will shear off your knees on the way out. Now, we know Trump will never send one of his own, and say what you want about the royals, but they actually led by example. Harry served as a forward air controller, the high-stakes job of calling in airstrikes from a forward position on the ground in Helmand Province, before returning for a second tour as an Apache attack pilot, while William served as a search and rescue pilot. They didn't hide behind a sweetheart deal with a foot doctor. They put their titles on the line and did the work.
It's a shame. It's and that country, UK, and I love that country. I love it. My mother was born there. I love it. My mother was born there. My father was born, right? He knows all about my father. My father was born there. So, you know, very places that you sort of automatically very feel warmly about.
Just remember, this is the guy that had the feeling about the war. The beauty of this clip isn't just that he's wrong about his own father, it's the way he says it with absolute confidence. Like he just got his Ancestry.com results back and he's trying to read the printout. Fred Trump was born in 1905 in the Bronx. He was a New Yorker. His mother Mary was the one from Scotland, the one who actually gave Donald that signature UK connection he's so proud of. And again, Donald, since you have this special fondness of the UK, be like them and ditch the height limit so Barron can serve. Think of all the money you'll save on those army ladders. RFK Jr. is back showing you how not to exercise while thinking he's giving great advice and being a wonderful example. I don't think you need to have visited a gym to know this is all kinds of wrong. Meat and ferment, brain worms, can rock my boyfriend, meat and ferment, dead bear. His version of a leg press is just nudging it a few inches. And just like Pete Hegseth, you have someone loading up the weights, you know, the guy that takes all the 45s in the gym so he could barely move them. Here's how it's supposed to be done. Look at this guy. He's doing it right. Okay, not really. There we go. Jeans, you gotta be in jeans. When he wasn't pretending to exercise the muscles he got with injections, he was probably having a little me time watching the Burger Wars videos because he loves real food. If you haven't seen the clips of Chris Kempczinski tasting the new Big Arch Burger, you are missing out on the most unintentionally hilarious corporate fail of the decade.
Chris K here with, you've heard about it, here it is, the Big Arch. This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So here we go. First, holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame, poppy sort of bun. All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a big bite for a big arch.
You idiot. How can you call that a big bite? I can't even tell if it's actually had anything taken out of it. This guy makes $19 million a year, and after watching this, that's about $19 million too much. Of all the fast food going, McDonald's is the worst, and he knows it. Like, was this man created in a lab? Was this his first day on Earth as a human? Showing off a mass-produced burger with a microscopic dent in it and trying to convince us he just attacked it or chomped it. But let's talk about the competition, because while McDonald's is busy having a midlife crisis on camera, the other guys are showing up big time. Like the Burger King CEO, Josh Kobza, or the Hungry Jack's boss for the Aussies tuning in. This guy is out here digging into a real Whopper like his life depends on it. It is a legit burger, and frankly, it's amazing that he managed to film the segment between shooting Top Gun and Tombstone. Is it me, or does he look like Val Kilmer? It's like I'm watching the Iceman himself getting a meal in. Rest in peace to a legend, though. Another actor gone way too soon. Now, speaking of actors, you've got the A&W camp trying to get in on the action. And again, This isn't an executive, it's actor Alan Lulu, the face of those commercials. Good on you, Alan. I appreciate the effort to troll the product guy. But if you're gonna one-up someone, don't just take a bite, eat the whole damn thing. That is a tasty looking burger. Get in on it. That's why the Wendy's CEO actually has everyone beat. The dude literally cooks his own burger and then just gobbles it up. It's authentic, it's messy, and it makes the McDonald's nibble look even more pathetic. Wendy's is actually leaning super hard into the real person thing that they just posted a job, and this is real. It's this literal stoner's wet dream. Chief tasting officer, 100 grand a year and remote, just taste food, make vlogs. They're looking for someone who cares more about a JBC than the stock. Honestly, a job like that should come with a set of Van Halen tickets and a federal badge. It's fantastic. I hope you're having a good nap after managing to work the big keyboard. I'm sorry, is this directed at me, or are you reading the Post-it note your mom stuck next to the glass of Tang she left you on the milk crate side table next to your futon? MAGA tears. My comment disappeared again. I am sick of these lefty talking heads trying to censor my comment. Disappeared again, and talking heads, plural, suggests you're making the rounds being a bit of a dickhead there, fella. Nobody's censoring your comments, which, by the way, is spelled with a C. It's called moderation, and I sense you have bigger problems than not getting more eyes on your diaper Don defending rage posts. MAGA tears. As much or less than this cyborg rejects horse riding commercial. Horse riding. Try and say this was from Shaking Hands, you know, the line of BS they gave everyone that they tried to sell. Be the healthiest president of all time, gave the world a lunch-losing taste to what lurks under the collar. Lunch-losing. Somebody give me the chunder bucket. Seriously, I'm gonna let it rip now. I can confirm the Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube, and I hope you subscribe.